Well, hey there. Howdy. How are you guys today? It's great to see you. Um, Today feels wild for me, right? Lots of great things to be excited about, but I want to take the time to just say how thrilled I am to be practicing what I'm practicing. Okay? It's unbelievable. I have had um, an issue for a while. Maybe I felt like I wasn't good enough. Maybe I felt like, I shouldn't be doing this, whatever. Well, you know what? I don't want to let that dictate what I do anymore for the future. Okay. I work with some amazing, wonderful individuals, and I have two office locations. Both are doing great. I'm really ramping up my people in Ohio. I'm really trying to. I want to try to build my Fort Wayne practice a little bit, and get that back to where it used to be. I have a lot of where I haven't been at Parkview for so long. I've really lost touch and a lot of connection with a lot of people who used to come to me from Parkview. You know, I don't know if all the budget cuts and stuff is going on is making you guys not be able to value yourselves enough to be able to go receive work. But here in Fort Wayne, there's a lot of awesome massage therapists. There's some really good craniosacral therapy practitioners. I'm not that unique here in Fort Wayne. But over in Ohio, I am. There's only one other person in my region who practices craniosacral therapy to the degree that I do. There's a lot of massage therapists that, oh, I do cranial massage. Cranial massage is not a real thing. Okay, and anyone who says so is just a lunatic. It's not a real thing. Craniosacral therapy is a very intention based practice. Okay, it's body work practice. I'm physically on your body. Okay, I'm physically feeling your fascia relax. I'm physically feeling your skull bones open, things move, opening up your jaw, relieving people of their migraines, their tension headaches that they've had for a very long time. All this work is grounded in osteopathic medicine. All of this work is based in science, evidence based science. There's research to back it up. There's double blind studies. There's all the stuff, right? All the stuff. Okay. And I've been feeling, even through last year, this like I'm not good enough, feeling deep down inside me. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable. But I've had this feeling for a long time, and it's time to just let that go away. I, I need to own the fact that the knowledge that I have is unique. It's needed. Body work is so needed. A lot of people just like write it off as like, oh, hey, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of people trying to tell you what you should and should not do. I don't really want to be one of those people. If our energy is correct, we have a vibe that matches, and then you need this really specific work, you're going to find it and seek it out. I've been having a lot of people come to me and tell me, I had no idea that your business existed in Paulding. A lot of people drive to Defiance for a massage, they'll drive to Fort Wayne, they'll drive to New Haven. All that's good stuff. But I'm telling you, the community of Paulding needs what I have to offer because like we have so many substance abuse issues, we have mental health issues, we have like a separation between something bigger than ourselves and ourselves, right? So I get into some spiritual practices, not to get too woo woo with you guys, but I do get into some spiritual practices. I read books on souls, I read books on, energy work, energy medicine, and a lot of different stuff that people don't have, they just kind of write it off like it's whatever, right? Well, so much of our life is kind of, this shift in how we shuffle through trauma, right? Okay. So like little t trauma, big T trauma, there is a difference between the way that we're perceived, but there's a lot of stuff that happens prenatally, perinatally, that we have no control of, right? So as I'm doing some of my research and my studies right now, I'm reading a lot about birth. Again, birth and death, rebirth. It's a looping cycle, right? Part of the duality of man, and it's a beautiful thing, but so many times, especially in today's society, I've been talking to some friends of mine about this and asking them some questions. Did you have a C-section? Did you have a natural birth? There's a huge difference between the health outcomes of people who are born naturally and go through the whole birthing process, and then people who are just pulled out ahead of time, right? And there's a couple different avenues of that. There's the people who are just like let it happen. It's all supernatural. Like, let's just let it happen. You being birthed is one of the very first bodywork sessions you receive, if you'll cling on to that thought with me, that notion, right? So when you're born vaginally, your body gets moved, you get muscled around, you're in there just hanging out, you're doing your thing as you're kind of passing through the birth canal. Okay, that's very important that that process takes place, because that, not only are you getting the good bacteria, right, that good flora and fauna from your mother, you are also receiving those those neurochemicals and all the good stuff, but your body's actually like being prepared to enter the world, right? When you're in this nice cozy womb, right? We all remember it well, when you're in this nice cozy space and then you're just sort of suddenly forced out of it. That can be a traumatic experience. Birth is a traumatic experience. And in today's world, right, we go to the OBs, we go to the hospital, right? Birth is kind of seen as an emergent situation. It's a natural process. Okay, we've been doing it for millennia, and it's good stuff, right? But a lot of that, the stress and the anxiety and like, it's crazy how much that can have an effect on the mother, and then have that effect on the baby, right? And then we carry that through our whole lives. So some of the stuff that I'm researching right now deals with that. Okay, that's a heavy topic for some people, and some people are probably like, that's just nonsense, And I have a lot of friends who are labor and delivery nurses. I'm sure they're aware of this stuff. I'm sure they talk about birth trauma. I'm sure they talk about all that stuff in classes, right? And it's just so fascinating. And some of the work that I'm reading about right now is like re-experiencing birth, right? That sounds crazy. I'm not quite there yet as a practitioner, but the desire to help people with that and to see the need for that is pretty big. So something else that I've studied is the work of Dr. Stanislav Grof. Okay, he basically created transpersonal psychology. He's like 94, I think, 94, 90, 95 maybe. Getting there. He's been in this work for over 60 years. It's his life's work. And Dr. Grof created the four perinatal stages of birth, the four matrices of perinatal stages of birth, and we can get trapped there. Okay, so I can see how the work of Dr. John Upledger through somato-emotional release, that I'll be getting into sometime soon, and craniosacral therapy and all that work is just, it just, I can really see how things get connected, and it's really cool to be able to kind of connect the dots like that. I have what's known as conceptual views, so I have a really unique ability to like look down at something that's happening and see how things connect. Okay, it's a really unique skill that I've been cultivating for a very long time now, but it gives me the ability to see other perspectives and to be able to make connections that other people can't see. So I think that's what makes me a really good holistic health practitioner, is because you might come to me and you might have X symptom, right? Because the research and education that I've had, I can link X symptom with something else somatically going on in your body, right? Reconnecting to the body, okay? We are these wonderful vessels, right? We have a soul that lives inside the vessel. The vessel's the body, right? It's up to us to take care of the body, so that way we can nurture our soul, so that way our soul can learn the life lesson that we're here for, and then in the next phase of that life, whatever that may be for that specific soul, you can move on in a more completed way. Okay, so that's some heavy stuff, and I've rambled on enough, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of went on a tangent there. I feel really enlivened today with a lot of spirit, and I'm just so excited for the future of Holistic Wizard Wellness and everything that encompasses, and all of the lives of the people that I want to help down the road. So if you could just spread the message, spread the good word, I would appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.